to understand our history and culture, develop a clear-eyed consensus on the opportunities and challenges facing us, and to develop impactful plans or opportunity agendas to build a path for progress for every St. Pete resident, worker, visitor, and stakeholder. The first 100 days have been enlightening. We confirmed just how much progress can be made when we come together with common goals, unified in purpose, to address the challenges before us. We govern based on principles. We've endeavored to be in touch and inclusive. We've been innovative in addressing challenges, and our decisions are informed by facts, data, and science, with the overarching goal of meaningful community impact. And we have been intentional in the application of equity as a core principle. Our administration will remain focused on these principles with the goal of inclusive progress for all. I'd like to share a few key areas of progress over the last 100 days. We've made important strides on one of the city's biggest challenges, affordable housing. We've established and improved critical relationships with local, state, and federal partners, the private sector, and community stakeholders. And we've made housing affordability a key priority for the city. The economics of housing are challenging as investors purchase homes in lots, escalating housing values and prices. Now, that's great for investors, but it's contributed to soaring home prices and rapidly rising rents for everyone else. That's why my administration looked not only at how we can help individuals obtain affordable housing in today's real estate environment, but also at how we can increase the overall inventory of truly affordable housing through innovation and partnerships. Within the opening weeks of my administration, we implemented a policy change to our South St. Petersburg CRA Developer Incentive Program for land acquisitions. The reality is government purchases take time, and private sector investors, often making a cash purchase, can simply act more quickly than government can. So we took innovative action. We increased the amount of incentives available to developers, but we did so with key stipulations that make additional funds available only if the developer sells to lower moderate income individuals and families. Simply put, this public-private partnership expands home ownership opportunities to those who make our city work, our healthcare workers, teachers, firefighters, restaurant and hotel workers, and the many essential workers who are the backbone of our community and our economy. And it works in partnership with the private sector. We also increased down payment assistance and home rehab assistance to low and moderate income families, and made some or all of the loans forgivable after 10 years. Keeping families in their homes is the key to poverty reduction and the prevention of homelessness. And we want to bring more tools to the table. So we've also worked closely with our county and agency partners to expand affordable rental opportunities. In March, we celebrated the opening of Skyway Lofts, a 65-unit affordable housing apartment community in South St. Pete that provides units at a fraction of the cost of comparable housing, with some new one-bedroom units priced at about $360 per month. Likewise, residents began moving into Del Mar 745 in downtown in early March. There, all of the units are reserved for low and moderate income renters, and half of the units are targeted towards individuals and families who were previously unhoused. Now, let me go off script for a minute. I know the deputy mayor is cringing, but we are not about credit in our administration. We are about community impact, and I want to acknowledge our staff, who's long been working on these issues, as well as the Kreisman administration, who started these two projects under their administration. But we have a brand new project as well. Last week, we received support from council for a brand new 264-unit apartment development near Gibbs High School. It's near Gibbs, but I still love it. All of the units will be affordable and workforce housing, all of the units. Some to families making 50% of area median income, or about $12 an hour. This is the first development of its kind in the state of Florida under House Bill 1339, which allows cities to approve development of affordable housing on any parcel zone, residential, commercial, or industrial. This is how innovation, collaboration, and common purpose move us to success. Using this model of partnership and priority, we are focused on fully developing and implementing our opportunity agenda for housing to better meet this expanding need. And we will continue to help those who are in housing but struggling. We've heard from many residents who've been devastated by the pandemic's impact on our economy. For those individuals, we aggressively leverage federal resources to ensure that help is on the way. Through our relationship with Pinellas County government, we were able to access another $18 million in emergency rental assistance funding through the Federal American Rescue Plan Act. These funds allow St. Pete residents to continue to access needed help with assistance available for up to 120 days, time that can provide a crucial lifeline to these families as they rebuild. The key to shared progress is shared opportunity. So my administration is pursuing priorities that make economic progress and mobility achievable for all. Our city has embraced a culture of innovation, one that provides earning opportunities for entrepreneurs and learning opportunities for those who want to be the next generation of innovation. Since taking office, we broke ground or celebrated the opening of several key assets within our community. Projects that bring access to high-wage jobs, valuable educational opportunities, and new research and innovation hubs that will encourage new solutions to modern challenges. Later today, I'll be joining the president and trustees at USF St. Pete for the announcement of a transformative gift for the Kate Tiedemann School of Business and Finance that will aid our city in expanding as a hub for fintech, financial technology, and innovation. The ARC Innovation Center, once complete, is expected to have a $28 million economic impact and create more than 1,200 new direct and indirect jobs. But more than that, it will serve as an incubator for entrepreneurs and startups and as a resource to our education ecosystem. Likewise, the recently opened Maritime Defense and Technology Hub and its shared space concept houses 19 businesses and technology startups and includes the Florida Flood Hub for applied research and innovation, which will coordinate statewide efforts among academics and researchers to address sea level rise. Now, we live in paradise. Our geography, surrounded by beautiful bodies of water, is an amenity, but it is also a threat. Rising sea level rise and climate change is our reality, and therefore we must recognize climate resilience as a factor in everything we do and build. We benefit from being home to these critical emerging industries. As such, St. Pete is positioned to be an innovation hub, creating solutions for our city, our state, and for the world. And projects like these just don't generate revenue, they breed excitement, especially among our young people. I believe that when young people get excited about our future, it drives their goals and pushes the limits of what they believe is possible. But we must ensure that the students are connected to opportunities for success. And so our opportunity agenda for youth will focus on assuring that our young people have the guidance, facilities, support, tools, and technology to connect to their passion, understand career options and paths, and build their path to success. We want to ensure from pre-K to post-secondary that our young people are learning and building the 21st century economy. By connecting the ARC Innovation Center, the Hub, USF FinTech, and St. Pete College, workforce programs, and many other education and business partners with our students, who are the workforce for tomorrow, we will be on the path to creating an education ecosystem where our young people and our long-term economy will thrive. However, it's important to recognize the challenges that some of our young people face. A City Commission structural racism study last year uncovered what many already knew. Black and poor residents disproportionately face health, economic, and social challenges, including increased mortality rates fueled by reduced access to healthy food, health care, affordable housing, and stable job opportunities. This is a national problem reflected in many cities. I believe that St. Petersburg can lead the way by focusing on inclusive progress, understanding our history, having those honest but difficult conversations, and charting a path forward based on equitable economic development. To that end, my administration has moved forward with budgeting a new equity office within our city government, a key recommendation from the study, and one that will most affect our ability to address disparities and drive the fundamental principle of equity throughout the organization. Further, we are engaging federal American Rescue Plan funds to address issues that most often affect our minority and low-income neighbors. Funds will be leveraged to create a series of community one-stop shops to provide trauma-informed support services, including access to case managers, therapists, and outreach. We will also leverage these federal dollars to provide immediate crisis payments to cover rent, utilities, food, childcare, and healthcare, as well as to build capacity with nonprofit organizations who provide direct support to residents in need. We will also be implementing innovative approaches to combat food insecurity in our city. We will leverage ARPA dollars to create a sustainable network of accessible, healthy foods by working with small convenience stores to make healthy food available in communities where it is most lacking. We will also purchase refrigeration for city community and recreation centers. See Mr. Jeffries looking at me. To improve the quality and quantity of food delivered through the federal summer food program. In addition, we will direct federal funds to increase youth development grants to better meet demand for tutoring, literacy, and after-school programs. As mayor, I have a responsibility to make sure that our employees are equipped and prepared to provide world-class services to our residents and businesses. I also believe that every city employee should be paid a living wage. Earlier this year, I instructed our Human Resources Department to expand the city's $15 minimum wage to all part-time employees. When the city implemented a minimum wage in 2015, it carved out part-time employees who had worked for the city for less than 5 years. I eliminated that carve-out because every employee should have access to a livable wage, regardless of hours worked or time on the job. We also brought existing labor negotiations to a successful conclusion. I supported a 3% general wage and a 3% progression pay increase for our workers represented by SEIU FPSU. The cost of living is rising. Wages should keep up, and the city should lead by example and send the message to businesses that wage stagnation cannot continue as the cost of living increases and working families struggle. One thing that is very clear to me is the need for a strong management team. The city administrator position is a key role, and we have the right leader in Rob Gerdes. I was excited to appoint Rob after a national search, and I'm thankful to our city council for unanimously confirming Rob's appointment last week. I also want to thank Tom Green for serving as interim city administrator, and he did an excellent job. I'm confident that Rob Gerdes is the administrator to move our organization forward in alignment with our principles and priorities. I'll end with one of the most impactful issues that I've addressed during the first 100 days, the redevelopment of Tropicana Field, formerly the gas plant neighborhood. The Trop site represents our most valuable and storied redevelopment opportunity in generations. The proposals we have on the table are good. The process and the questions in the original RFP were all very well designed. The proposals will provide valuable amenities to our community, including mixed-use development, affordable housing, recreational space, and opportunities for retail and robust economic activity. But is it the best fit for our priorities and our needs for the next 40 years, particularly in the post-COVID era? That is what I'm seeking to learn from a series of questions my administration posed to the top 2 prospective developers. I want to thank our city council for their input and collaboration on these questions as well. The questions seek to update the developer's vision of the project in 2022. For example, how will the proposals respond to changes that have occurred since their initial responses, including supply chain challenges and labor shortages resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic, and potential changes in the demand for office space as more and more businesses adopt work from home or hybrid models. I've also asked for a more definitive answer on how the developers plan to honor the gas plant community that was displaced when the stadium was first constructed. These are important questions, and the answers will inform my decision on the master developer over the next few weeks. As you know, I was a child of the gas plant community, and this is not only a vital decision for the future of our city, but also a unique opportunity to finally fulfill the promises of equitable development made to the gas plant community. This is our opportunity to shine. I plan to select a developer by June 30th. Of course, a major component of the Tropicana Field development is the question of the Tampa Bay Rays. Since my election, I've focused on getting our St. Pete and Pinellas team back together. My administration, the City Council, our County Commission partners, and the Rays have had several meetings, and those meetings will continue. We continue to meet with those partners and our facilities consultant, Inner Circle. Our team is together, and we are making progress on developing the best plan for the new Rays Stadium. I am excited and optimistic. Our city is prosperous. We are growing and thriving, but we must all continue to remain a city that responds to the needs of all, that builds opportunities for shared prosperity, and a city where everyone can feel that they are part of the progress rather than being displaced by growth and left behind. St. Pete is for everyone. I'm proud of my work my team has accomplished in these first 100 days and the ongoing work of all of our city staff. I'm equally excited for the opportunity to work together to shape a prosperous and equitable St. Petersburg for the 21st century. There's so much to look forward to, from appropriately supporting the arts community by pursuing stable funding, an issue that I brought to the Tourist Development Council last month and will continue to pursue, to establishing new ways to expand youth opportunities, to aggressively pursue new affordable housing solutions, and to create an environment where emerging industries and entrepreneurs can thrive, and much more. Our potential is only limited by our imagination, our innovation, and our determination to achieve inclusive progress. We've already begun that journey in the first 100 days. Let's remain united as the conversations become more complex and more difficult, and the issues closer to home. While others argue, let us find consensus based on facts. And as we write the new chapter for our great city, let us all remember we are St. Pete. Thank you all so much. You should. I have 57-year-old ears, so I cannot hear you.
Mayor, you and I sat down before the election, and I asked you what your first 100 days would look like. Grade yourself based on what you thought before the election versus how the first 100 days would look.
I have never thought of a grade. I can tell you that we've got tremendous city staff, and the leadership team is working literally 24/7. I have to literally tell the deputy mayor to stop texting me at 3 in the morning. But we're making progress on all the issues we talked about and others that I didn't cover today. I feel good about where we are. I feel good about the relationships from Tallahassee to Washington to our city council and neighborhoods. I think we are moving in the right direction.
Mayor, a lot of the projects you mentioned are funded with federal funding. You mentioned the American Rescue Plan Act. What is your reaction to Governor DeSantis' drawing of congressional district maps and the fact that it cuts the city in half right through a problem?
So we are very appreciative of the funding. As you know, we visited the White House before I was sworn in. The bipartisan infrastructure dollars, I believe, will be very beneficial to the city of St. Petersburg, not only in addressing some of our capital and infrastructure needs, but taking the pressure off of our capital fund, penny for Pinellas, which is about $9 million a year, is going to fix the water system. That could be going to a number of other uses, from a new K-9 and fire facility to new community centers. So I'm really, really appreciative of the federal funds. The map, it seems like deja vu. We've been there before, so I trust the courts to come up with a solution that is legal.
Could you talk a little bit about the letter to the Biden administration offering to take in Ukrainian refugees? What was the impetus for that? How would it work, and what made you decide?
Well, that was a partnership with myself, Mayor Dyer, and Mayor Castor from Tampa, and it was just a note to the administration that we have an embracing culture in Tampa Bay, and we want to do whatever we can do as city administrations to help out. So that's the gist of it.
You mentioned affordable housing and a couple projects that you have coming up. Do you think that it's going to be enough to offset
No.
the fact that people are struggling?
No, we are focusing on increasing that inventory. The projects that are coming in are great, but they are in the hundreds of units. We need much more than that, and that will be the focus of our administration for the foreseeable future.
Is rent control still on the table for your administration?
We've discussed the rent control issue with the People's Council, gone through the issue with our legal staff. We don't think that is an effective tool or a practical tool. As you know, it would require a referendum. It would have certain limits on it. We want to focus on the things that we know do work. Our lot disposition program, the projects I talked about that are producing brand new affordable housing, for less than $400 a month in some cases. We've got a model where that works. We know the partnerships that work. So we're focusing on that. And if City Council directs, moving towards rent control, we'll restate the concerns we have about it.
You talked a little bit about how your administration is focused on equity and economic development that focuses on equity. That's a concept that, in one of the bills that was just passed in the state legislative session, controversy about whether it will be allowed to be taught to students. I don't want to get into a tit for tat with the state legislature.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, though, to explain why you think that approach is better.
A great example is Tropicana Field. If you came in brand new to the community and you saw 86 acres, some have referred to it as a blank slate. But if you have been here a while and you understand the history, I view equity as equal opportunity informed by facts, data science, and history. So when you understand the history of the gas plant and that it was a thriving community that was dislocated and promises were made, then you've got a different approach on how it should be developed. I think that's a great example of a view of development from an equity lens. Any other questions?
Has there been any progress or any decision made about the grades that are under Tropicana?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Is that something that you're asking the developers?
My staff and I have met and talked about that, and we'll stay apprised of what's happening there, but it's not something that's going to slip under our radar. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Another valuable piece of property that you're studying currently is, of course, operated airport. Where's the study currently at? What are the very next steps?
We're still developing the scope of the study, but bottom line, it will be an economic and community impact analysis of Albert Whitted, and like Tropicana Field, what's the best use for the next 50 years? Okay. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.